Hello everybody, Gavin McCormack here. Welcome back to this course, The Art of Living, a philosophy course to teach you how to live a better life. And we're with Jack Butler. How are you?
I'm very well, Gavin.
Now, we have travelled to Iceland to a small village called Tigray. And Tigray is a very special place indeed, like lots of villages around Iceland, because they have an amazing level of trust. Here in Tigray, they do not lock their doors. They leave them wide open because they can trust that the community cares. And another thing they do is, in order to get their children to sleep beautifully in this wonderful clean air, they leave them outside, which might sound remarkable in lots of cities where you live. Now, ancient philosophers talked about trust. So Jack, has there ever been a philosopher in ancient times who exemplified this story of trust?
Well, I think it lines up really nicely with a philosopher named Socrates, who lived 2,500 years ago in ancient Athens. Socrates tells this story about trust when he was approaching the market one day. So he came down to the market in ancient Athens, and this is the place where people sell everything you'd need for day-to-day life, the food, the clothing, the things that kept people alive. So it's a really important place in the middle of the city. And Socrates walked through the market every day. And one day, as he was walking through the market, he saw one of these sellers, one of these market operators, and they were selling something. It might have been a piece of fruit to an individual. And what he saw is that person was deceiving their customer. They were lying to the person that they were selling to, and they were trying to convince them that what they were being sold was something different. It might have been that they were being sold the best apple in the world when in fact it was an average apple. It was worse than average. And so seeing this exchange made Socrates think about the value of trust in a society. And he took the seller aside and he said to them, why are you trying to deceive? Why are you trying to lie to this person who's buying from you? And through this discussion, through this questioning, Socrates and the seller were able to agree that trust in a society gives value to everyone. So the seller and the buyer are both better off if they're honest about their reasons for wanting the thing.
Wow, and this message spread throughout the entire village, town, and actually around the entire world, because people started to realize that when they were honest and they told the truth, they became happier and the people around them became happier. What an amazing story.
That's right.
And this is testament to Iceland today, because if you look on the happiness scale, which is a scale of all the countries lined up in order, all 196 of them, and you test to see which countries are the happiest, Iceland comes in the top 4 countries and always has done for the last 10 years. And we put that down to the fact that they have this level of trust and openness and this avoidance of deceiving each other, which actually builds happiness. So Jack, for our students at home, how can we use these lessons from Socrates and the amazing Icelandic people to make our school communities, our lives, our entire society better?
Absolutely. Well, here in Tigray, in the West Fjords in Iceland, people are living in a community of 1,000 people. Socrates was living in a community with tens of thousands of people, and you might be living in a city with millions. But even at every one of those levels, trust is the most important thing that keeps people glued together. So I think students should focus on building trusting relationships with their peers, with their classmates, and with their teachers.
Wow, and so the story tells us that when we are honest and we do things openly and for the right reasons, so that we're not trying to make gains or advantages for ourselves, the whole of society benefits. So this week, we want you to add one more page to your booklet, which is a comic strip booklet you're going to share with other people, and we want you to try to depict the story that Jack has taught us about Socrates inside that comic, and then use it to not only reflect on your own life and how you can use this level of trust to benefit yourself and other people around you, but also teach that amazing message to other children and other people in your community. Jack, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much, Gavin.
See you next time.